And this is what I tell my clients when they come to me. I have a talk with them about the fact that you have set the intention of healing now by coming here. And so know that by doing that, what I do with my Reiki and then my energetic counseling, and we talk about what's going on in their lives and maybe changing those habits or working through certain fears, is that this work is not necessarily comfortable, but necessary in order to get to the other side of that, to the freedom part. And I promise you that there is that freedom, but you have to do the work, and it's scary. And that's where I then tell my clients, make sure you have your tribe around you when you start doing this work. So Yvette, you have been one of the pivotal people in my tribe over the last few years, and have guided me to certain trainings that have liberated me and helped me a lot. But we all deserve to have a tribe. And I think this day and age, we have been so disconnected, and this connection is starting to come back because of our circumstances, and how much I think a lot of people are realizing how much they miss the connection that they took for granted now that everyone's being isolated.
But sometimes your tribe is not always your immediate family, because the people who you have been this way with for the longest time, they may have the same habits, and they may want for you to stay the same, because you changing threatens them and their security. So that's even a bigger step into having courage of realizing that it's easier to change than it is to stay the same. And it is uncomfortable, but embrace the discomfort. Like that's what I like shout it from the rooftops. Like, how awesome is when you're a kid and you're learning how to ride a bicycle, or you're learning to ice skate for the first time, or you're mountain climbing, or you're jet skiing. You will fall down over and over and over again until you get it right. And as kids, we're not afraid of falling. We're not afraid of failure, but somewhere along the way as adults, we have become fearful of failing. But there's so much excitement in the failing forward process as you're learning something new. I mean, that to me is exciting.
Yeah.
But
And you mentioned in your last video regarding following up with the questions of the meditation, that how good it is to cry. Well, how many of us have been conditioned not to cry? And, in fact, I just saw from one of our former colleagues a message on Facebook yesterday that I had planned to be busy today, but all I can do is sit on the couch and just stare at the walls in numbness. And, I responded back to her, and I just said, sometimes you just need to do that. And that's okay. We don't have to be busy all the time. And this is where just getting still and allowing what needs to come up, is such a gift. But if you've been conditioned to not allow that to happen, then it's hard for people to break past that, but it's necessary. And I think, with people being isolated, they may have moments where they just they're numb. They don't know what to do. And it's in the non-doing, as we've learned in our yoga practice.
Yeah. And
so what a gift that is. So we're going to go with the flow. We're going to do the best we can, and we're going to be there for each other. And a lot of really great things, I think, are going to come from this.
Well, the ability to connect with people, and I think get past the fears of, well, so-and-so doesn't want to hear from me, or whatever our minds tell us of why we should stay in isolation. If we just have the courage just to put it out there and ask for help, of whether it's a kind word or a phone call, a text, a voice message, WhatsApp message, something that encourages someone to put one foot in front of the other and really be okay with where you are in this moment. I mean, just what is it? If you think about, you picture yourself, you're in a kayak or a canoe on a river, and you're trying to paddle upstream and you're going nowhere, you know, and you can't really control because you're running into the rocks and you just have so much you're fighting against. And then if you turn the kayak in the other direction and go with the stream, you can navigate the waters so much more easily.
Yeah.
So that's just that visual. I'm a very visual person. So I like that, you know, pictures in my head when I.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. I often use the leaf going down the stream of just going with the flow, because I get the sensation of floating in water, and I know how relaxed I feel when I'm floating in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I find myself being triggered by something, and, you know, this is why they call it a practice, because it's always going to be a practice. We haven't mastered anything. You know, when I find myself triggered, my imagery is that floating in the sea and just letting go.
Mm-hmm.
And letting it be what it is. And that's what has been helpful for me. But I know other people have their own visualizations, and, you know, and again, I mentioned earlier, you know, with meditation, that's an amazing, amazing tool. But meditation for others may be riding your bike around the neighborhood. I love riding my bike. I love feeling the breeze in my face. That element of nature and getting grounded, and I'm moving my body, so I'm also moving the energy. So, you know, it shows up a little bit differently for everyone. First, you know, I have a girlfriend who is an amazing gardener. In fact, I'm going to be reaching out to her soon because I need some tips. But that's where
for your victory garden.
For my victory garden. A pot. But it's something to nurture and focus on right now. So. You know, my honey, it's painting the bathroom right now, and he loves doing the lawn. You know, so again, we all have our thing that brings us calm, and whatever works for you is great. So.
Thank you for joining me for today's Captain's Table Conversations with Yvette. Stay tuned for more, and be sure to subscribe.